I woke up in the morning and my arm was frozen like this, would not move. I thought I was permanently paralyzed. And I went to the doctor after dropping my kids off at daycare, went to the doctor, and he tried like normal things that he would know how to do, and none of it worked. So he told me to go lay down in an exam room. He was going to do some more research, and then we'd try some more stuff. And I said, okay, but see, the thing is, I got a meeting. It's kind of a big one. So I'm going to go run and do the meeting, and then I'll come back, and then we can see about this arm. And he's like, no, you're not. And I was like, kind of have to. Because in my head at that time, every meeting was this big pressure, your only chance. If you don't get this one, you won't get asked back. All of these, like, I made it way too heavy and way too only. And so I went to the meeting. I held a folder over my arm, hoping that people wouldn't notice. I went back to the doctor and he ended up still putting shots in. It still wouldn't relax, doing steroids, all this stuff. And he looked at me in the eye and he said, Shayla, if you do not slow down, you will die. At that time, I was freshly divorced with a 3 and 5-year-old that I was now fully responsible for financially. And I can't move my arm and I don't know if I'm permanently disabled. Right.
Wow.
So I drove home and I just kept hearing those words over and over again, like, you will die. And I'm like, I can't die. I have 2 little girls. Right. And so I got home and in my driveway, I just was bawling. And I promised myself that day, I will figure this out. Because since I was a very young girl, I had this strong belief that just like men can, women can have amazing careers and be amazing, involved parents, right? And what I was looking for that I could never find a role model in is somebody who had the amazing career, was a great loving mom, and enjoyed their life and were healthy. It was that 3-pack that I couldn't find anywhere, right? And so there were a lot of people who were bosses in the work, not a lot, right? But there were people that were a boss in the workplace and amazing mothers that never thought about themselves, right? And we're in that survival mode that I was in. And then you'd find some that were in the other categories, right? And I had never even met a woman that was an executive that didn't have a stay-at-home husband. And so I'm like, I don't even know, like I have no proof that this is possible, but I will figure it out. So what I did is I started studying 3 different things. I studied what makes some people more successful than others. And I had a little bit of an advantage because I was already in charge of leadership development, right? So that helped. And then I studied obsessively what makes some people happier than others, right? And then finally, what do I need to do for my health and my autoimmune diseases? So I took all of that information and I started trying stuff. And then to like my surprise and delight, some of it started working, right? So I was working less and I was making more. I was actually putting in less hours and being less frantic and doing less things and achieving more. And I ended up figuring out my health and I lost 30 pounds and figured out the inflammation and was feeling so much better, right? And I started to not feel like a victim and I got happier and happier. And so one day I'm like, well, shit, this is working, right?